At the height of the pandemic, in 2021, a right-wing group called Moms for Liberty bolted into Florida politics. Moms for Liberty. They fought against COVID vaccines and mask requirements to slow the spread of COVID. They campaigned for book banning, banning certain books from school libraries. They worked with other right-wing groups to rewrite the rules about the history that Florida students were allowed to learn. Because was slavery really so bad? Moms for Liberty expanded to other states, but their center of power was always Florida, and in particular, school boards in Florida, where they ran for office repeatedly and won. Moms for Liberty dominated, for example, the school board in Sarasota County, Florida. They held 3 of the 5 seats, and it showed. On the Sarasota County School Board, Moms for Liberty accomplished a string of conservative culture war goals. Bizarrely, that all taking place even as the board chair and her husband, who was the chair of the Florida Republican Party at the time, they were fighting a long series of startling headlines about alleged sexual misconduct themselves. But no matter how weird it all got at a personal level, and at a hypocrisy level, with their majority on the school board in Sarasota County, Moms for Liberty managed to pass book bans. They rejected protections for LGBT students. They pledged support for ICE agents in deporting students in Sarasota County schools. And it turns out what Moms for Liberty has been pushing for all this time turns out to be sort of unpopular with actual voters when people get a say on it. Last week, voters picked 2 Democratic-endorsed candidates over conservatives on the Sarasota County School Board. It is worth noting that registered Republicans outnumber registered Democrats by more than double in Sarasota County, Florida. But nevertheless, voters have now elected 2 candidates endorsed by Democrats and sent a third into a runoff right at the heart of Moms for Liberty, Florida. As a columnist for USA Today put it, quote, "This win is a great sign for Democrats. While the party often loses sight of the fact that all politics are local, the news that something has shifted, this news that something has shifted is a sign that voters are tired of the Republican-led culture wars and could be looking for a return to some sort of normalcy." Or as winning candidate Megan Tinneman told supporters on election night, quote, "We made history today." Joining me now is Megan Tinneman. She's one of the Democratic-backed candidates who won her Sarasota County School Board race this past week. Ms. Tinneman, congratulations on your win. Thanks very much for being here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor to represent Sarasota.
Oh, great. I just gave a little thumbnail sketch about what you just won and the context there. First of all, did I get any of that wrong? And is there anything else that our viewers should understand about what's been happening in Sarasota County and how big a deal it is that you won this seat?
Yes. So for the past 10 years, we have been under a conservative board majority, and this has been years in the making. So many organizations in our town support our schools. Sea Alliance have really been educating voters and encouraging them to look past party lines. And I think it's also important to note, I'm actually an NPA. So we in Sarasota are primarily Republican. And this gives hope to the rest of the nation that across all sides of the aisle, Republican, Democrat, Independents, all came together for the common good of education. And I think that speaks volumes.
You won by a lot. You won by double digits in this race. I know that you campaigned on needing to get away from things like book bans and condemning the compliance with ICE resolutions and stuff. Do you think that there was a specific one of these culture war issues that you were really explicit on in your campaign? Do you think one of them in particular was what motivated your voters the most, that you think voters sort of wanted to reject the most from the other side, or was it everything altogether?
I really think at the end of the day, our voters just wanted an end to the culture wars and the political theater. We were known nationwide for all the wrong reasons.
One of the things that I noted in following your candidacy and in particular looking at what happened on election night was seeing how many kids were involved in the campaign, how many high school students, people who've literally got skin in the game in terms of who is on the school board and what decisions the school board is making, seeing kids door knocking, volunteering for the campaign, seeing the election night watch parties and your celebration surrounded by high school students who had been involved with trying to oust that conservative majority and get in people like yourself. Did that just happen organically, or was that you specifically trying to reach out to young people to get involved?
It really happened organically. I have 2 high school students, and when their friends found out that I was running for school board, I also have a lot of LGBTQ students who volunteered on my campaign. And for a very long time, they felt scared, not safe at school, unheard. So I really think once they saw a candidate who respected their voices and wanted to be on the school board as a voice for students, so many students came and supported all 3 of us. There was another woman running, Beth Mayberry, and Jimmy Glover, who didn't win the majority, but he's going on to a runoff in November. And all 3 of us just had so many students step up and really want to protect their rights.
Kids are all right. And they're all really all right with people who are listening to them. Megan Tinneman, winning candidate for school board in Sarasota County, Florida, which, as you say, nationwide famous for all the wrong reasons. But you're really part personally of turning that around. Thank you for your time tonight. Congratulations on your win and good luck.
Thank you so much.